Imagine the unimaginable. The bustling streets of America's biggest cities suddenly descend into chaos as hordes of relentless zombies overrun every corner. Skyscrapers that once symbolized progress now stand as grim monuments to disaster, and familiar neighborhoods transform into dangerous traps where survival feels impossible. In the blink of an eye, what was once a safe and vibrant urban environment becomes a nightmare landscape filled with terror and uncertainty. In such a terrifying scenario, the question everyone would desperately ask is, where do you run? More importantly, where do you hide when the undead are closing in? Finding the right shelter isn't just about escaping. It's about choosing a location that offers real protection, access to vital resources, and a chance to regroup and plan your next move. This video will guide you through the best places to take refuge when U.S. cities fall to a zombie outbreak, revealing both the obvious and unexpected hiding spots that could mean the difference between life and death. Urban environments present unique challenges when faced with a zombie apocalypse. The dense population means the virus can spread rapidly, and crowded streets quickly turn into battlegrounds where survival depends on quick thinking and strategic choices. However, not all locations within the city are equally dangerous or hopeless. Some spots provide natural advantages, such as elevation or strong physical barriers, while others offer vital resources like food, water, and medical supplies that can sustain you for days or even weeks. On the other hand, many seemingly safe places hide hidden dangers, limited escape routes, poor ventilation, or attracting unwanted attention from both zombies and desperate humans. In this video, we will dive deep into the pros and cons of various potential refuges in urban settings, from towering rooftops and fortified basements to abandoned malls and underground tunnels. By understanding the unique risks and benefits of each option, you will be better prepared to make smart decisions and increase your chances of surviving when the dead rise and the cities fall. When zombies overrun U.S. cities, choosing the right place to hide becomes a critical factor in survival, and each potential refuge comes with its own set of advantages and serious challenges. One of the most commonly considered safe spots is high-rise buildings and rooftops. Being elevated offers a natural barrier against zombies, who cannot easily climb or reach high floors, and rooftops provide excellent vantage points for spotting approaching dangers early. Survivors can set up lookout posts and even create escape routes using ropes or ladders. However, the downsides of high-rise hiding spots are significant. These buildings often have limited exits, usually stairwells and elevators, that can quickly become bottlenecks or traps if zombies manage to infiltrate. Supplies stored on upper floors might run out, and being stranded atop a skyscraper without a way down can become a death sentence. Structural damage from panic, fire, or neglect could also cause parts of the building to collapse, adding further risk. Another potential refuge is basements or underground bunkers, which provide protection from direct zombie attacks due to their secure and closed nature. Many buildings have basements that can be fortified by barricading entrances and creating choke points, reducing the chances of undead breaching the defenses. Underground bunkers, designed for survival situations, often come equipped with essential supplies such as food, water, and medical kits, as well as air filtration systems to handle contaminants. Yet, basements pose serious risks. Poor ventilation can lead to suffocation or the buildup of toxic gases, and darkness can impair mobility and morale. If zombies find a way in, escape options are limited, making it easy to become trapped. Survivors must also be wary of flooding or structural collapse in subterranean environments, which could turn a safe haven into a deadly trap. Large commercial spaces like shopping malls and warehouse complexes are often imagined as ideal shelters because they contain abundant supplies, food stores, clothing, tools, and even vehicles. The multiple rooms and floors offer space to organize defenses, set up living quarters, and store resources. However, the size of these complexes makes them difficult to secure. Multiple entrances and exits require a significant number of defenders, and the noisy environment, especially when scavenging or barricading, can attract large groups of zombies. Additionally, Malls and warehouses may also draw other desperate survivors, which can lead to confrontations or even hostile takeovers, turning one survival challenge into two. Hospitals and medical facilities offer obvious benefits, such as access to critical medical supplies, equipment, and sometimes trained personnel. In the event of infection or injury, being near medical resources can be life-saving. Nevertheless, these facilities are typically high-risk zones. They tend to be overcrowded at the start of an outbreak, with both infected patients and panicked civilians, making them hotspots for transmission. Hospitals usually have multiple entrances, making them hard to defend effectively. The chaotic atmosphere and the presence of severely ill individuals can also lower overall morale and strain survivor resources. Police and fire stations present a unique combination of advantages. These facilities usually house weapons, communication devices, and emergency supplies, plus the potential for assistance from law enforcement or first responders if they survive the initial outbreak. Police stations can be fortified relatively easily, and the personnel inside often have tactical training useful in combat and crowd control. The downside is that these locations may have limited food and water reserves, and in a prolonged siege, supply shortages become critical. Additionally, police and fire stations could become targets for other survivors seeking weapons, which could escalate violence within already tense environments. Open spaces like public parks can be deceptively appealing because they provide clear lines of sight, allowing survivors to spot approaching zombies from a distance and avoid ambushes. These areas have fewer hiding places for zombies, reducing the risk of surprise attacks. However, parks and open spaces lack natural shelter and essential resources like food and water. Exposure to weather elements, heat, cold, rain can degrade physical health over time. Without protection, survivors are vulnerable to environmental hazards as well as zombie attacks, making parks more suitable as temporary refuge points or gathering places rather than long-term shelters. Abandoned buildings and warehouses can be attractive due to their isolation and the possibility of securing the premises relatively easily. With fewer inhabitants initially, survivors can fortify these spaces using scavenged materials to create effective barricades. Such locations might also have useful salvageable items like tools, construction materials, and sometimes food stockpiles left behind. However, the condition of these buildings can vary greatly. Some may be structurally unsound or infested with rodents or other dangers. Unknown occupants, whether hostile survivors or squatters, can also pose serious threats, turning what seems like a safe haven into a dangerous conflict zone. Subway systems and underground tunnels offer an intriguing option for hiding underground and away from surface dangers. Their interconnected nature can allow survivors to move discreetly between locations without exposure to zombies above ground. These tunnels often have sturdy construction and are difficult for zombies to navigate en masse. On the flip side, underground environments come with significant hazards, limited lighting, poor ventilation, and the psychological strain of confinement. Zombies may also infiltrate tunnels, and narrow passageways can become deadly choke points. Furthermore, a lack of easy access to food, water, and fresh air can quickly degrade survivability in these spaces. Choosing the right hiding spot ultimately depends on a careful balance of factors: security, accessibility, availability of resources, and potential for escape or rescue. Survivors should avoid places that are obvious targets or draw large groups of zombies. It's vital to prepare emergency kits with essentials like food, water, first aid, and communication devices. Establishing clear escape routes is just as important as securing the immediate shelter, because situations can change rapidly. Flexibility, situational awareness, and the ability to adapt are key to long-term survival. In sum, surviving when zombies overrun U.S. cities is less about finding a perfect fortress and more about making smart choices based on your environment, resources, and risks. High rises and rooftops provide safety through elevation, but limit mobility. Basements offer security, but carry the risk of entrapment. Malls and hospitals offer supplies, but are hard to defend, while parks and tunnels present unique opportunities and dangers. Understanding these trade-offs can help survivors make informed decisions and improve their chances of making it through the nightmare alive. When zombies overrun U.S. cities, where you choose to hide can truly be the difference between life and death. Each potential refuge, whether it's a towering rooftop, a fortified basement, a sprawling mall, or an underground tunnel, comes with its own set of strengths and dangers. Survival depends not just on finding shelter, but on understanding the risks involved, preparing carefully, and staying adaptable as the situation evolves. No hiding place is perfect, but by weighing factors like security, resource availability, escape options, and your own skills, you can increase your chances of outlasting the chaos. In the end, surviving a zombie apocalypse in an urban environment is about making smart choices, staying vigilant, and never losing hope, even when the world around you falls apart.